Welcome back, folks. We are in Flanders today. Yeah. Just came out of the main train station here. I thought we'd take us abroad for a little while. We have been talking about it, and I thought it would be important to show some of you people some of the most uninspiring parts of Europe. Hence the reason we left and decided to be independent. However, I missed my train, so we're actually here instead. Where is here, you might be wondering? Well, this, folks, is the exact upper end to where the peasantry normally send their kids. This is Westminster School, yeah? Nearly £50,000 a year to send your kids here. But, this is the key thing, look at that. They can pretend that they're actually living a real Harry Potter fantasy here at Westminster School, yeah? Absolutely lovely. However, the school itself is not the interesting part. The interesting part is the fact that they decided to build a local church next door so that all of the young men would have a place to worship and thank the Lord for their good fortune in life. This is the small church that they decided to build. For some odd reason, they named it an abbey, Westminster Abbey, in fact, curiously enough. But it's rather nice, isn't it? So you can just trot out of school, even wearing your gym jams, if Mummy and Daddy have come on Sunday to pick you up, and head over to the abbey here. Get on your knees and thank the Lord for your good fortune in life. Now, speaking about good fortune in life, folks, remarkably, I wasn't entirely sure we'd make it outside today. Yeah. Now, unfortunately, I haven't got a ticket to go into the abbey. However, even if I did have a ticket, we're not allowed to film. The wardens here, dressed in red, would admonish myself and the rest of you, and we'd be banned probably forever from trying to go in. So it's not worth it. But that, folks, is what good, honest, Christian ladies and gents do on a Sunday morning here in London. They head into the abbey to say thank you very much for being happy, healthy, and having a good life. Now we're going to march around Parliament Square, slightly concerned coffee face, to get us back to our usual spot. Now, why did we almost not make it today? Well, folks, for the same reason we didn't make it yesterday. There are massive traffic issues in London this weekend. It took me 45 minutes yesterday just trying to get toward the centre before thinking, you know what, it's a waste of time.
Keep subscribing!
Say again?
Keep subscribing to the channel.
Ah, where are you from?
I'm from Pakistan.
Pakistan?
Yeah.
Okay, Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you. What?
Okay, folks, right. See, even, I mean, this early on a Sunday, even the flipping drivers are happy. Anyway, let's be serious for a moment, because this is a serious part of the video. Part of the reason we're here is to show you all this, folks. Kind of appropriate, as we can hear the bell tolling in the background. Extraordinary thing to see, eh? Here in central London on a Sunday morning. So that's why we were running a little bit behind, shall we say, this weekend. This morning I thought, you know what, I'm not even going to risk it. So instead, I took a black cab. Who graciously agreed to drop me at the... Well, he didn't agree, I mean, I was paying him, he had to do it. Who graciously dropped me at Westminster Abbey. Could get used to that, folks, travelling everywhere by black cab. Perhaps I will one day if I ever win Euro Millions. Interestingly, folks, one view we haven't seen very often on this channel, we have seen it before, but very, very, very rarely, is this one. It's a shame it's not particularly bright today. That's the view across Parliament Square from the Westminster Abbey, Westminster School side. Glorious, isn't it? That car's rather ace as well. And over there is the location of the phone boxes. We're going to cut across today. Don't worry guys, there's no risk from the traffic. I wonder why there are so many marshals about. Special event in London perhaps. Boss, is there a special event happening in Parliament Square today? Why are all you guys out? It's not like... Ah, okay, alright, thank you. Right folks, it's not a special event. Just assisting the police, private security. I think primarily trying to keep people off the grass, which, to be quite honest, would make sense. But that's the view people are trying to get, just a little bit over the road, and we'll be there in a second. I guess it kind of helps in some respects to give a bit of perspective to the area that we're normally walking around in. Millicent Garrett Fawcett, folks. Being suffragette. Courage calls to courage everywhere. But somebody decided just to leave their bags there, as usual. Curious. They've forgotten them. Okay, so over we go. Nice and empty this morning. I mean, it won't stay like this, but for the moment it is. It's exactly 11:10, which means we should, hopefully, arrive pretty much as the morning inspection is finishing. Now, I normally don't come across this way because it's awkward. Now you can see I'm super high up on the wall. 1 second. Desperately trying not to... Oh, the traffic miraculously just stopped. Ah! Okay, so we're back in our usual spot. Couple of things, folks, before we march down to horseguards. Captain Caveman, thank you for the comments yesterday vis-a-vis senior service personnel and their reluctance to be filmed. I get it. I think a lot of you know on this channel I'm as discreet as I can be. However, I think anybody that is out in public in ceremonials, and a lot of you might disagree with this, is fair game. They know the second they go outside in ceremonials in central London, along Whitehall, between the MOD, horse guards, there are going to be hundreds of tourists. So it doesn't matter if I'm there or other people, there will be lots and lots and lots of people filming. So it's a tricky one. I try to strike a balance between respect, but also comprehensive, reliable coverage. This chap's got an interesting here. Pay bonus, what is this? Pay bonus something. I can't quite read what he's got on his sign. Water boss, pay bonus something. But he's got US dollars, which is curious because we don't actually use US dollars here in the UK. We have sterling, our own currency. So that was point number one about senior military personnel. Point number two, folks, the video about a lady and her son selling poppies. A lot of you seem to have gotten the wrong end of the stick with that. She's been at horse guards many times with her son, who, as you saw, is often dressed as a young blues and royals. She has, and has never had, no objection to being filmed. Okay? She knows that there are dozens of YouTubers and TikTokers and the rest of it who are at horse guards. However, if you go back to that video a couple of months ago, Final Day for Corporal of Horse Chaplain, the video is titled, you will see that during discussions with her and Corporal of Horse Chaplain, I briefly turned to tell somebody to get out of our faces and remove the camera because we were trying to have a private conversation. That person who I told to get out of our faces is the annoying little Vietnamese twat who is the major spammer at horse guards. Okay? His name is Quaylin or something, I don't know, whatever. Quavers Crisp, something like that. Point is, that's the same idiot. Being filmed is not the issue. Having somebody follow you around at very close proximity when you've got a child with you is a little unsettling. Now, I know the rules of filming in London, and if I were out and about with my kids and that guy came up and put the camera in my child's faces as he had done with her, I hate to say it, guys, I'm not a violent man, but I swear he would have been in hospital. There's a big difference between filming respectfully and going over to young minors and putting your camera right in their face. And you know, guys, what I'm saying is true because you've seen the sort of misogynistic rubbish that he's put out about female troopers and other guards. Guy's got a problem. He'll be featuring in a video coming soon. And the third issue, which I'll talk about as we're marching toward horse guards, copyright. Been a good one, folks. Thanks to all of you. And Mark, shout out to you. I didn't miss your comment, chap. Thanks to all of you, we've gotten a lot, and I do mean a lot, half a dozen so far, including some more than 1 million view videos deleted from YouTube. Now, how do I know that's had a really big impact? Well, the reason I know it's had a big impact is because these spammers have been crying to me in emails, "Oh, we'll pay you. How much money do you want? We're sorry, we made a mistake." And as always, blah, 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 all the usual absolute rubbish. I'm walking past the Romanian accordionist so we don't get a copyright strike. Now, obviously, I would accept no payment at all. Although part of me did think to myself, hold on, why don't I tell him to donate £2,000 to a military charity and then I'll let him use the footage. But actually, it's not going to work. Why? Because if I give somebody written permission to use it, they can republish that footage and or share it between their spammer buddies to say, hey, we've got permission from blah blah. So nope, ain't gonna happen. So blanket ban on anyone reusing the footage ever. The only people I would agree to let use the footage, and that would obviously be free of charge, are the troopers and their families and or the Ministry of Defence London District. Everybody else gets copyright struck. It's the best way to be. Okay, so I hope that kind of addresses the major issues that I was reading yesterday, folks, in the comments, because wow, it's getting a bit of a problem to keep up with them. To give you an example, we had across the channel last month, I know this because I got the stats yesterday, as we entered a new month, 37,500 comments across all the videos on the 37,500 comments. Even if I stayed awake for 30 days solid, I wouldn't be able to read them all, let alone respond to them all. So I do tend to sort of scroll fast, guys, under the video to see what I can pick up. And I do my best to deal with anything that's super serious. But if anything is, how do we say, crazy urgent, or, sort of my attention is required immediately, best to either tap me on the shoulder here at Horseguards, if you're out and about, or DM me on Instagram. But I'm even behind with that, folks, by hundreds of messages. It's a problem. Anyway, we'll be at Horseguards in a few minutes. Now, from what I saw yesterday, I didn't see much, to be honest, because I blocked most of the channels. Nothing particularly interesting happened anyway yesterday. So we accidentally chose the best day off. Oh, I've just got myself completely blocked in. Look, they've closed it. First time I've actually seen that. Whitehall itself, right away, being closed. Curious. Wonder why they did that. Autumn leaves, guys. Look at this. Lots of leaves on the ground. Beautiful colours, in fact. I thought I was seeing things, but there actually are two guys sitting on the back of that flatbed truck. That's a kind of an unusual thing to see here. Travelling, I don't know, through Russia or Morocco, as I've done many times before, and seeing workmen sitting on the back of a moving vehicle, completely normal. But how fussy health and safety are in this country, that's something you hardly ever see. Now, curiously, there is an absolutely massive crane. Let's hope one of the horses didn't do a giant something that needs professional assistance. What is this giant crane in the middle of Whitehall? Are there horses? Are there troopers? There are actually, luckily. It's a bit of an optical illusion. The crane is further along from Horseguards, but something's being done here. I'm wondering actually if they're lifting some very heavy gold bars out of a government building, ready to send them to Kiev to help the Ukrainian war effort. I mean, we've given them everything else, so might as well add some gold to it. It's very curious. I can't see. It does look as though it's actually going into Horseguards. How peculiar. It's actually the roof at the back of the stable there is. Anyway, we're here, guys, and absolutely wonderfully, remarkably, actually. I was going to say magically. It's not crazy busy yet. Oh look, speak of the devil. Here's the weirdo, likes to follow kids around and stick his camera in their face. Right. That, folks, is the giant crane. It's not quite going to the back of horseguards, but I wonder what they're doing. Maybe hoovering all of the leaves out of the guttering. Very, very, very curious. Okay, so tourists and the horses. In other words, the reasons that we're here this morning. That and Burberry scarves. I'm wondering actually if they did in fact have a morning inspection. The reason I'm curious as to whether they did is that it's surprisingly quiet here this morning for a weekend morning. I mean, it's 20 past 11. To be fair, actually, we're very rarely here this early, so that might well explain it. But typically the back area gets packed, sort of backlogged during the morning inspection. They open the front gates, everybody rushes through the tunnel, through the front gates, to the front, and boom. But today, there's no rush, there's no crush. Why would that be the case, folks? What do we think? Anyone got a theory? Possibly tourist season coming to an end prematurely. See, there are some things in life which are great when they're premature. I'll say some things. I mean, what's tourist season ending prematurely has got to be a good premature reality. I'm trying to make up new words, folks. There's got to be a positive premature event there. Happy? Oh, say ancora uno, which I think means a little closer. Which is curious because the kid was looking at the line and was out of the line, but the parents basically told her to go on the line and then into the box. Trooper, curiously, isn't saying anything. Maybe he doesn't want to offend our lovely Italian guests. Oh, his mum. Walked straight into the box. Gets sold by the trooper straight away to get behind the line. That's actually quite a classic because she probably didn't think that was going to happen because the kid didn't get told to get behind the line. See, our trooper's doing a good job. Almost like psyops, folks. They're like, hold on a second. If we don't tell off the kid, then we're going to get to shout at the parents instead. Good thing to see, though, to be fair. Especially as we just arrived. Will they all be disrespectful? Disrespectful. I can't get my words out this morning. Will they all be disrespectful? Let's hope so. Oh, shows his ballet moves. Pirouette coming? No? Now, curiously, I can't see, looking into the yard,
Excuse me?
a gatesman.
You put your lens right in the middle of my picture. That's okay.
That's because you're standing behind me. If you ask me to move, I'll gladly
On the
move.
side of you.
So if you're at the side of me, my lens can't be in your picture. You can't have it both ways. Not seeing a gatesman, folks, in the yard today. Very curious. Last time I had that, somebody saying I'm in their way when they stood behind me to take a picture. Move. Simple solution, really, I guess. But hey, it is what it is. We will investigate in a second. We'll have a look in the yard. Where is the gatesman? Why is there no gatesman? Unless, of course, he's around the corner. In fact, somebody stopped to take a picture in there, so I'm guessing he is obscured by the post, by the pillar. For the moment, they're all walking past and not stopping and not touching the horse, which is what we want to see, isn't it? Let's have a look at the other end. I thought there's somebody trying to get a reaction video then for a second. It's very curious to stop behind somebody and say you're in my way. It's just like... I've noticed actually the police are across the street as well. Look, if I turn the camera around, Maybe they're on a spammer patrol. Wouldn't that be nice if they came over and arrested them all? Them all. I said they need a van, actually. Okay, this end's pretty buoyant. Busy and buoyant. Horse is getting really left alone this morning, which is a good thing. Always another one, look. There. Spammeroo. Question is this trooper on it like the other one? Guess we'll find out as the morning goes on and more people arrive. If I step back, you can see that it's not completely deserted. Neither is it yet absolutely packed. However, there are a couple of curious looking people in odd positions. This reminds me of the good old days, actually, of the winter holidays last year. It would sometimes be busy, but most of the time we get one or two people coming up, posing, etc., getting their pictures, and then moving ready for the next one. Like the good old days, except with the upgraded sign. Oh, Frenchies again, ne touchez pas. Okay, if he touches the pas when he goes up, we're going to know he didn't listen to his lovely wife. If he goes up, maybe he'll wander off. Oh. Because it's getting cold, folks. Today it's about 11-12 degrees. I'm thinking maybe 1 or 2 more degrees lower and it'll be time for gloves, because right now, yeah, hands are a little teeny bit. It's my favourite time of the year when you can see your breath early in the morning and you need to wear gloves. Love it. Love it and love it. Okay, let's have a quick look in the yard, see who we've got. It's starting to get quite busy again here actually already. 1 second. One second, people in the way. Ah. So I wonder what happened when the morning inspection... Actually, maybe there was no morning inspection, thinking about it. Because there is no way on earth they would have had the full inspection, closed up the back and everything else, opened it, and about 2 people came out. It just wouldn't happen. It would not happen. That said, we've got... Actually, wait, look at the time. It's 25 minutes past 11. So the guard change at the palace is still ongoing. After that, they'll all head here. Hopefully. Maybe not. Okay, so we have got a gatesman and we have got a chitsman. They're properly ensconced back in their respective archways this morning. Largely, and I'm sure they're happy about that, being ignored by the tourists for the moment. Horses are really going to start thinking that all the tourists became super antisocial, I think. That's what's going to happen over time, because no one is getting anywhere near. Horsey, I know. I had to give you a pat, make you feel better, but it's against the rules, I'm sorry. That one's got an Ormond-like face. If I stand between the retractable bollards in the centre, you get much more of an idea of how busy it is here, look. Good number of people. Ignore the spammer on the left. You can see there are a lot of people here. But They're all way out of the box, like really, really far behind. Oh, we've only got a couple of weeks, guys. It's the upside of us being in November already. A couple of weeks until the King's Troop, Royal Horse Artillery, make their miraculous return in winter order. That will be a first, not just for me and this channel, but for everyone that films it. No one's ever got footage of that before because it's never happened before. In other words, a big deal. This fellow's just arrived from Darwin. You're just like, hold on a second. Which way is Adelaide? But look at that glorious respect for the box. I mean, he is a lowly subject like myself, so one would expect the respect. One would expect the respect. Expect the respect. Okay, so our Chidsman. Over on the right, Gatesman approaching us, folks. Here he comes. Myself way behind the bollards actually, so I'm nowhere near disturbing surrounds. Notice almost everyone's frozen on the spot. I guess the tourist is kind of a major event. Oh, interesting interpretation. One tourist behind me just said that's the boss making sure they're doing their job. It's not the boss, folks. The boss is probably in the guard room with his feet up or having a bit of breakfast in the cafe restaurant. They have like a cafe restaurant thing here where the troopers eat between shifts. And remarkably, either everybody was in the museum and they all decided to come over at once, or something just happened. But gosh, suddenly got quite busy.
William, come back.
These are very, very low key today, actually, for some reason. Not sure why, but yeah, they're super low key. A few very odd new people. Why is it that the weird types always wear hoodies when they're filming? I don't get it. Behind me, folks, not in front. I've noticed actually, the reason part of the reason I wear very heavy sunglasses most of the time I'm filming here. One, my eyes are a bit sensitive to light, but it's much easier to see when I'm being beady-eyed, or people are sort of having a little look, you know, let's beady-eye him, and decide whether or not if somebody's looking at me, whether I should move the camera over in their direction or not. I do wonder actually though why the Met are over there this morning. Is there an event? Maybe something at the MOD. It's hard to know which is going to be the smart choice between the two ends, to be completely honest with you. Normally people flood out and it's the other horse that ends up being really, really, really surrounded by a lot of tourists. But this morning, luckily for us, the spammers, as I said, are tending to avoid me now, are lined up at this end, which is good. Why is it good? Well, because if I can move around and narrate freely, one, we don't have to focus too much on any particular guard or a particular area, but two, more importantly, they hear the narration and off they go. Oh, sorry. Someone tried to trip me up. Have they permanently solved the issue of people getting in this to the horse? I mean, possibly. Why honest, the trooper's going to start feeling lonely at this point because no one's getting remotely close. They're actually lining up. Wait, let's give you an idea. They're lining up here instead for pictures. Means even the horse has got a bit of space. They can come around and have a little stroll in fact without worrying about there being too many people. I see that as being a huge positive. I don't remember though actually from Friday whether this trooper was very vocal in telling people to get out of the box, especially those that are kind and polite and just want to give the horse a wave. Or not. Got a bit of time, folks, while it's quiet. I'll name this horse for all of you. I know some of you will know which one it is already. But for those of you that don't, one second. I recognise the brown markings on the sides of the horse's head, but I just can't remember offhand which one it is. It's not Trinity, it's... hoof number's a bit of a mush. One second, let me just have a look. I've got an idea of which one it might be. I can't read the number clear enough. I mean, instinctively, from the list and the number I can read, actually no. I was going to say instinctively Virgil, but I don't think it is Virgil. Virgil. I'm not looking at the camera. Oh, Virgil. Folks, it has to be Virgil, surely. He's like, yeah, it is me. Of course it is. He's looking at the picture that I just took of the hoof. It's way too messy to be absolutely certain. So I'm going to throw Virgil into the mix, folks. If it's not, you can correct me in the comments. I mean, it's only fair, guys. We are a community here. Teamwork and all that. It's okay. Ah. It's the best side anyway, boss. Ah. Very rich people, guys. And when I said about rich people do occasionally come out of raffles, out of their suites for pictures, here we are. Look, it's an incredibly rare occasion. But Count von Bülow von Württemberg von Strausenberg von whatever is here in his lovely cashmere overcoat with the Countess. That's Countess Margarita von Stauffenberg von Gloryberg von Glory Hole von Bülow. They're taking a good old time in the centre here. He's like, so yes, this is what it feels like to be extremely rich in London in 2024. My darling, would you like to go to Bond Street? Perhaps Tiffany are open. If not, I can always call the branch manager and arrange it for us, an early preview viewing. Tiffany, what are you talking about? Do I look like Strumpet? I would like to go to Graf, my dear man. It's rare, folks, to get Richies here. And off they go. Yeah, off they go to buy some more tat they don't need. Oh, goodness. Hey, morning, all right? The horses are starting to feel lonely. They're missing human contact.
I'm trying to rent about 10 phones.
You're trying to do what?
Rent 10 phones.
Rent 10 phones. Wait, why? To take it over. I'm actually quite surprised though, folks, that this gent and the lovely lady have not bought the horse, bought the king's horse. Just mentioning about how rare it is to get really rich people here, isn't it, to be honest? They don't like the horse to slather over their expensive cashmere overcoats.
Hier sind sie.
It's all good, don't worry. Okay, this dude just arrived from Marbella. Look. It's a nice tan. In fact, it's quite unusual to see people, curiously, with a nice holiday tan in London. When Christmas arrives, and lots of rich people jet off to the Caribbean. Just after the Christmas period, we'll see people here with a tan. That's how you tell the rich people from the poor people like me. If you can afford to jet off for Christmas, you're doing well in life. I'm sincerely hoping the troop will not be rude to anyone from France today. You know how much that would upset me personally, guys. Notice as well, in fact, how many times I look over my shoulder and somebody's right behind me. Look at what's on the screen. I guess they're kind of wondering, is he making a documentary? And to be honest, I probably am. Each of the mini vlogs is a documentary of sorts, is it not? Far more activity in the yard than at the front. Very curious. Okay. We've been at this end for long enough anyway. Let's move ourselves along again. Not even yet see any police forces coming from the palace. Curiously. Now we know from what we saw at the beginning of the video, this troop is on it 100%. Bobble hats out in force, look. It's almost like being at a Canadian hockey game. Oh, another rich person just arrived. She just walked straight over toward the box. In fact, we've got a group of very rich ladies who just arrived, folks, in what I hope are fake fur coats. Look. I think the microphone's probably picking up just how many languages are being spoken around me right now as I'm standing here filming. The thing is, the majority of people behind me are not in front of me. That might, in some respects, be a negative, because at the end of the day, folks, if people completely stop approaching the horses entirely, there are going to be no interactions. And I mean, that can happen outside of the box. They don't need to break the rules for there to be interaction. The upside, I would argue, is that, especially as it gets colder, the spammers that spend 5 or 6 hours standing here will not spend that long here in one position all day under any circumstances if it's that cold. Because the thing is, now we're not getting all the people going over into the box. They have to wait many hours to try and get, one mildly controversial incident, which they blow out of all proportion and make out that, the laws of physics have just been broken, that kind of thing. It's extraordinary. That's the way to do it. Look at the lines. Awkward. Bro. He really gave me the dirty eye actually when I laughed. Taking my child, sir. Bing bong. And that should in theory equal the emergence of the gatesman, will it? Of course it will. Why would he not decide to come out? Well, that's his job. Now the thing is, at the moment, we've got a couple of tourists that have their backs, oh now they're turning, to the guard. There they are. And here he comes. Now, my bet is that they're going to move out of his way. Yep, sit, buckle it. I'm going to get myself in the side gate so that wherever he goes, I'm safe. It's fun actually, I don't know why it is, but people that film here don't really tend to stay anywhere around the middle area, I've noticed. In other words, it's almost always fixed positions right next to a bollard with a tripod. I guess maybe because their kit is heavier, so they don't want to be carrying it around. I do prefer being mobile, to be honest. That way we can sort of not only keep ourselves from being in one spot for too long, but also get close to the action if and when it does happen. The horse is like, oh, what do you mean? His ears are wiggling, like he wants to hear something. He's not sure what it is. Good morning. Ah. What a cutie, eh, that horse. Hugely. What do we think though, folks? Do we think that the horses are starting to wonder why nobody's going close to them? I mean, they get plenty of attention. Not only are they stabled in a massive group with one another, but they've got troopers tending to them all day long, from pretty much the crack of dawn until late at night. In other words, they're super spoiled with attention. But they must wonder why it is that now nobody goes anywhere near them, whereas before people were near them all the time. Or is that, folks, not how horse psychology works? I don't know. I mean, I guess they're, you know, friendly, sociable animals. You tell me, experts. Would they miss it or not? I mean, I know before you jump in and say it, I know they wouldn't miss mass mauling.
That's perfect.
I tell you, it's a very relaxed vibe here, actually, from the way that the police are standing today. They're just like, these are the kind of mornings we dream of. No stress, no pressure. Get ourselves back into the spot. Who's next? I did mention before, didn't I, in the video a couple of days ago, what do we think about people that sort of contort their body into positions that push their head into the box?
You're even protest today. Protest.
I have no idea actually. I wasn't here
yeah,
yesterday either. Was it busy here yesterday?
I didn't come.
Oh, you weren't here either?
I saw you the other day. I forgot my gimbal when I came here.
Friday?
I went back. I didn't do anything.
No, I did come out yesterday, but it took so long to get even halfway that I turned around and went back again.
Yesterday was Prince Prize, that's why.
Ah, because I was wondering, like, why is it? I sat in a taxi for half an hour, I didn't go anywhere. I'm just like, you know what? By the time I get there, it's going to be too late anyway, so I went home again.
But it's a climate for just big one coming in.
Today?
Yeah. Not the full week.
I wonder why there were a lot of. I started that in the Westminster Abbey. There were a lot of police on the side streets. So we think that's what it's for. Big climate. Do you know what time it's supposed to be here? Protest.
Last time was 1 mile long.
Oh, okay, that'll be interesting. So a huge climate protest. I didn't read about that, folks. I don't know if that's going to disturb our video or whether it'll lead to horse cars getting closed. Right, between now and then, we should, in theory, have the palace crowd turning up. Not quite sure what that is. It's like the sort of hair touching thing. I will, folks. If I get the opportunity, go across the road and speak to the officers and ask them what time they're expecting the protest to arrive. There's no road closure listed in the schedule for Whitehall. So I'm generally surprised that there might be a protest with that many people. That's it, anything sort of climate related is going to be popular in London, there's no doubt about that. I mean, on the whole, they're all behaving themselves properly now, I would say. Ah, here we go. Okay, so these are the first two coming along from the palace after the guard change. Fantastic, eh? Absolutely glorious, both of them. Sheepish look there. Oh gosh, the thing is, it's grouped both sides of the box now. You can't fit it all in. Of course, I'm thinking that we must be due for a changeover any moment because the video's saying 7 minutes, people.
Ahmed, you can come here.
Good to see he's on it. That's actually really cute, look. Brilliant. So they get it right one side and get it completely wrong the other side. What a surprise. Okay, I'm just going to walk into the camera in a minute. Could the both troopers have spoken up? Okay, yeah, it wasn't exactly a shout, but I mean, he's at least not letting them get away with it, entering the box, that is, folks, for their photo op. God, here we go again. No, folks, the image is not frozen. ¿Qué pasa? The new key spot is actually way behind the pollards, where everyone else is posing. If I know, for example, 1 foot taller, there's everyone's head. I'm now standing pretty much back at the edge of where the pavement meets the road, meets the public highway. It's a new favourite spot because you can see the box extends a fair amount into the road. This is where actually, see this lamppost, where the MOD could have put up a live cam. That would solve 90% of the issue here with all of these morons live streaming and having multiple cameras. If the MOD had one camera that went right across the front here, live stream, not only could they use it for revenue, but more importantly, it will get rid of most of the undesirables that are here. MOD live cam. In fact, if it was an official live cam, I dare say the quality would be super, and people could donate as well. Pretty sure he didn't want to tell that kid to get by the line, but hey, rules are rules. I'm still here, guys. There's a lot of people around me for the moment. Okay, please sorry to move everybody back. Oh my goodness gracious me. Wow, hold on a second. Guys, you're going to be absolutely delighted by what I've just seen. I'll explain in a moment. A lot of you might remember very famous incident with a certain officer who's always been really on it, the ball that is, really on the ball, dealing with crowd control, dealing with idiocy, dealing with people that have been disrespectful. That officer has been off for, I'm thinking, the best part of between 4 and 6 months. But guess what, folks? He's back. He's back. Way behind any tourists that decided to push the luck this morning. I'm thinking that by Christmas we might end up seeing a real dream team of MOD officers here. Because if they've started to rotate again, it means a lot of the faces we haven't seen recently, that a lot of you have grown quite fond of, will return to Horse Guards. Inevitably. Big bong. I wonder which horses was it going to be to replace these two, I wonder. Right, here they come. Rawdon? Nope. Quite a nice spot actually to finish up on, guys, with today's video, to be honest. Things I'm foreseeing an absolute deluge of people after this guard change. I think they might just slowly try to move themselves in front of the other box before it gets completely and utterly overwhelmed. Remember, guys, the horse with a massive blaze. For some reason I've got Zorba floating around in my mind. I'll try and get a positive idea in a minute. Get closer, 1 second. It's really, really chocker. It's going to get a lot worse now. Everybody's coming from the yard. Let's see if I get the number from the hoof. Oh, there we go. Miraculously, everybody just moved out the way at once, and we found ourselves right in front. 1 second. We had this exact same issue the other day with me wondering which horse it was with the unique blaze, and the same problem. Yeah, this is the unnumbered horse. Why am I thinking it's Zorba? 1 second. I'm pretty sure it's Zorba. Again, if I'm mistaken, feel free to correct me. This little dude is in the box. If it's not Zorba, then this is a horse that we haven't seen for a while, because the thing I always remember about Zorba is just how wide and even his blaze is. It's an extraordinary blaze. In fact, it's so beautiful, it's going to have to be picture of the day today. Really remarkable looking horse. When I say unnumbered, the horse does have a number, and I know which number it is, but what I'm trying to say is that we can't see it on the hoof. The hoof itself is actually blank. Either it's unstamped or it's been rubbed off. But I've got the actual number from the stable list. 1 second. He's a real beauty, and he's looking directly at the camera right now. In fact, that might actually be a picture of the week with Zorba, folks. Brilliant, brilliant picture. Look, he's staring right at the camera. Still jammed in the yard because they're changing over the 2 foot guards, which, to be honest, I wasn't expecting. Bear in mind, we just hit noon, not 1 p.m. That's now finished anyway, so we've got the new gatesman about to emerge from the tunnel. We should see him going into the yard behind the trooper through the box in a minute, then we know it's done. They're just going back in now, the relieved guards.
You're very much allowed to come and stand as long as you don't run away and don't go over the line. That's it. Can I just say again, can I just be very clear? This guard is absolutely a saving member of the British Armed Forces. They're very ceremonial uniform. They're the last regiment of guards to wear a vestige of body armour, like nice and shiny armour. These are the guys when they're not sitting on streets, they're meant to be driving armoured vehicles.
Get ready for the deluge, people.
We've arrived just with perfect timing because there's been a little tiny bit of ceremony so that you're about to get
Okay, the tour guide's explained to his group that there's been a ceremonial, true, and it's about to get absolutely chocker. Maybe he's right, maybe not, we'll see. I mean, the gate is looking pretty busy, guys. I will not end the video whilst it's mad like this, I promise.
Oh, mate.
So we can just about squeeze Zorba in, plus the gate squash. I'm not quite far enough to my left, folks. I'll move over in a second. Oh, there we go. That gives us horse, tourists, and the gate mate. All right.
I've been here, I've been watching the Changing of the Guard.
It's not so much wasted on the camera actually. The jogger gate. I think it's better we keep it on the box. Oh, you out of the box. No madam, no sir. Yeah, I'm liking that one. You. Yeah, university applicable you out of the box. I said the lady might be Swedish and it might be Jutta, for example. And now she's thinking, hold on a second, how the hell does he know my name is you?
That'll be good contest.
You out of the box. Brilliant. Yeah, I'm liking that. It's a good solid way forward.
Good shot, that. You see?
He would probably want that shot. That is a very good shot, actually, to be fair.
Some do, some don't. Busy next week, innit? Lord Mayor's showing everything next week.
And it's not just that, Remembrance Day ceremonies. I started up at the Abbey, in fact, noticing the poppy garden. Very pretty.
Is it already up now?
Yeah. I started that this morning.
They open that tomorrow. They open that on
Thursday.
Ah, okay.
Royal come, I think it's Camilla comes and opens it.
The interesting part is I noticed they put a lot of lighting, so they're going to keep it, I think, lit overnight, aren't they, as well? It should look really pretty out. They've all frozen, folks, that is, the tourists. Yes, ladies and gents, it is Colin. Yes, he's back up to his good old self, out and about. And as you can see, it's jam-packed. Glad we dropped the horse's name, because at the moment I've got so many people standing next to me. But he will be picture of the day, folks, the horse. I was really hoping the trooper was her to get out of the box. I swear she just sort of shooed that Chinese tourist the other way. She was like, shoot. Very cheeky.
Io volevo salire sopra il cavallo se era possibile. Volevo fare un giretto a cavallo. Quello sì. Adesso sta liscio però.
It would have definitely been justice if he told her to get out of the box. Typically, folks, I'm sure we'd agree, most people have been very, very, very respectful today. On the correct side of the line pretty much at all times.
Non hai paura, un po' più vicino.
Back out of the crowd, watch the gap close. Spammer on the left, the lady in the white jacket, and the tourist spammer actually, although no one knows which channel it is, which is a bit of a problem. I say notorious spammer. She was recorded in an interview with someone else here, talking about how much she makes from spamming. Another one in the red on the right. A hoodie man in the centre. That's how bad it gets, people. Yeah, and that's at the good end. Crazy, eh? Okay, so I did say I'd try and ask the police what's happening. They've actually just closed the road whilst the traffic's here, which is interesting. Because I'm just thinking, if they close the road now, when there's this much traffic, where are they all going to go? That was a bit... The guy just said, I have no idea. of me narrating the video. So let me get myself out the public highway so the officers don't make an example of me on my own video. This will be where we're finishing up, folks. I will ask them though if they're expecting a very large protest and at what time they're expecting it. These are just the last few vehicles that have been let along from Trafalgar Square. And then the road's being closed. It's got 3 more and that's it. Let me ask the officer, 1 second. Officer, is there a protest expected along Whitehall today?
It's just a water demonstration.
Water demonstration?
Yeah, just about the rivers and stuff.
What do you mean, like Greenpeace, climate change, that kind of stuff, or what water?
Yeah,
well,
River Action UK.
River Action. Never heard of that. That's a new one to me. Wow. So Whitehall's actually staying closed for a good amount of time now, or?
The roads.
Yeah, I mean,
so it'd be about till 3 o'clock we're estimating, but it could be longer.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
diversion routes in place.
Okay. Thank you very much. Well, there we have it, folks. It's a new one for me. We've ended up in an interesting spot though, because you can see what horse guards is like from across the road. That is the throng that we were in the middle of, in the midst of, a little while ago. And that's our closing shot, people, across the central gates. Not the most eventful morning, but hey, it can't always be utter chaos. And look on the bright side, not only am I back tomorrow morning, so are the Blues and Royals. Bye for now, folks. Have a good weekend. What's left of it. Back soon, people.